Okay, so the real quick, easy question is how'd it go?
Well, we felt like it was a good debate. We were able to get out and make our points. I'm sure Congressman Walz felt the same way, but I wanted to make certain that the people understood that there's a deep philosophical divide between the two of us. He's with President Obama on the key issues of the day, and I'm on the other side. I want to take the power from Washington and return it to the states and the people.
I seem to notice that was a word that you repeated very many times here tonight, Obama, Obama. Do you feel like you're running against Obama or Tim Walz, or?
Well, no, I think I'm running against both because what we're talking about is a continuation of President Obama's policies. The big government policies that I believe are hurting the country and need to be repealed or reformed in significant degree. And, there are big divides between us, whether it's building the Keystone Pipeline. I'm for it. President Obama doesn't seem to be for it. Congressman Walz voted against that bill. And so we just give the people a choice.
Were there any issues that you wanted to have brought up tonight that you didn't get into or didn't get into deeply?
Well, I felt like the moderators did a very good job of making sure that we spoke on broad enough issues. I would have liked to have addressed energy policy a little bit more thoroughly. The fact that I look at the way the United States became a great economic power is through reliable, abundant, low-cost energy, and we need to get back to that. And we're not going to get back to that with these cap-and-trade, very extremist policies on the left coming out of President Obama, bankrupting the coal companies. Remember, President Obama, when he ran for president, said, you can build a coal company, but you'll go broke. And electricity rates will necessarily skyrocket. Those are the policies that I'm opposed to, that I want to be a check on, and I want to get us back to free market reforms.
The underlying issue there is climate change.
Yeah.
Some people say that climate change is not real. There's a lot of other scientists that say it is. Where do you stand on that?
Well, where I stand is that I'm not captive to the politics of climate change, that I have my positions, that I think we need to be energy independent, we need to sustain coal, we need new nuclear, all the above, and that in the end we have to build the infrastructure to use it efficiently. Energy, the United States has more natural resources than any other country in the world. And we just need the political will to go get that, let the private sector do their job. We could be exporting this energy and do a great deal to create wealth and opportunity in our country on just that issue alone.
Just one final question on that, which is a lot of energy coming out of North Dakota. I'm a North Dakota landowner. I mean, I know what's going on there. It's creating a lot of wealth, but it's also creating a lot of problems in North Dakota as well as Minnesota with oil moving through the state. What do we do to enable that without damaging the environment?
Well, you're talking about because the rail cars are full of oil cars now. Is that what you're getting at? And that's true because we're not building the pipelines. We should have the Keystone Pipeline. We should have other pipelines. And then we can move that oil very efficiently and also safely. It's much safer in a pipeline than it is a rail car. It's much more efficient. It's a third of the cost to move oil through a pipeline. So these environmental policies coming out of Washington, environmental policies coming out of the Obama administration, policies supported by Congressman Walz, we just have a big difference. And I think we can do it better if we allow the private sector to get out there and do their job.
One last thing on that, which is environmental policies coming out of Washington. The environment is the entire country. How do you regulate it state by state and still be able to pull it off without one state dumping on another?
Well, I'm talking about the EPA policies when I say the environmental policies. But in general, I believe that some of those powers should be sent back. But where we get into trouble with the EPA right now, for instance, they're reinterpreting the clean air statutes to essentially eliminate coal-fired power plants in the United States. That's going to drive up electricity, make the rates necessarily skyrocket. I think the Congress should have a check on those types of regulations that would have more than $100 million worth of cost to society. Right now, that's not happening. There was a regulatory reform bill put together by the House caucus. It was voted on. Congressman Walz voted against it. I'm also for sunsetting statutes to make sure that statutes can't be regulated and that every 5-10 years the Congress would have to go back and reauthorize those statutes. So those types of protections.
Mr. Hagedorn, thank you very much for your time. It was very generous of you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
Sure thing.